What's up, y'all? Trent Small, the chef, aka Red Specs. It's June 10th, 2025. First, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. For next week, have a wonderful Mother's Day. And if you guys want more inspiration, go to my TikTok video called What's a Mother to inspire you all day long. God bless you and have a wonderful Mother's Day. Today, I'm here to update you guys on some of the news coverages that I've been posting. First, let's go to Tyre Nichols. So 3 of the 5 former Memphis police officers involved in the brutal beating of Tyre Nichols back in January 2023 were found not guilty of murder and other state charges just this past week. So they've been on the news heavily. However, on a federal level, 2 of them have already pled guilty, and the other 3 have been found guilty of some federal crimes like violating civil rights and trying to cover up things. They are all set to be sentenced on June 16, 2025. So let's see what happens and what they get with that. Now, this outcome has sparked a lot of outrage, especially from the Nichols family and civil rights group who say that this is hard. And it shows how hard it is to hold these police accountable in our community. Now, the Nichols family has filed a $550 million civil lawsuit against the city of Memphis. It's the police department, the police chief Davis, and the 5 former officers involved in Tyre Nichols' fatal beating. This lawsuit was filed in April of 2023, alleges that Nichols' unaliving was a result of unconstitutional policies, aggressive policing practices, and a failure in leadership within the department. The trial for this civil suit case is currently scheduled for July 2026. So let's see the outcome with that. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, representing the Nichols family, has emphasized, and I quote, that this lawsuit aims to hold a city and its police department accountable for systemic failures that led to Nicholas' death, unquote. This civil action is part of the family's ongoing pursuit of justice following the acquittal of the 3 officers. So I just want to say, rest in peace to Tyre Nichols. My condolences to the Nichols family from us here at Food for Thought. 2, Bell Mountain. On March 8, 2025, hikers discovered the bodies of 19-year-old twins Caysen and Nazar Lewis atop of Bell Mountain in Towns County, Georgia. Remember, I spoke about that one. Both had suffered gunshot wounds. Now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation initially suggested the incident was a murder-suicide. However, the official cause and manner of the death remains undermined pending additional forensic tests, right? That was a tongue twister. New surveillance footage, though. There was new surveillance footage that was recently released, and the surveillance video shows the twins at a Shell gas station in Lawrenceville around 10:30 p.m. on March 7th, just hours before their bodies were found. Now, in this footage, they appear calm. They purchased some snacks and water, and it seemed like a normal day. So the family points to this as evidence against that murder-suicide theory. So the Georgia Bureau of Investigations continue to investigate this case. And as you remember, there was a volunteer firefighter, Scott Curlin, who was arrested for misdemeanor obstruction after allegedly taking these photos and sharing them on the internet of the two boys unalived at the scene. Once again, I'll keep you updated on that one because a lot of you guys are asking about this. Once again, condolences to the family, to the young boys. Rest in peace. Number 3, Terron Evans Jr. Here's an update on the 2021 death of Terron Evans Jr., a case that continues to raise serious questions and calls for justice. Now, as you guys know, Terron Evans Jr. was a 26-year-old Black man and activist who moved to Potsdam, New York in 2020. He was deeply involved in the Black Lives Matter efforts alongside his mother, Jennifer Braxton, a prominent community organizer, right? Now, on January 8th, 2021, Terron was found dead in the home of his ex-girlfriend, Crystal Kipp Hamilton. Now, authorities ruled his death a suicide, allegedly caused by the overdose of Wellbutrin, an antidepressant. However, the autopsy revealed no pills in his stomach, no residue in or around his mouth, and no signs of any vomiting at all. Factors that cast doubt on this overdose claim. Now, his mom, Jennifer Braxton, has raised several concerns. One, only one heavy redacted body cam video lasting about 2.5 minutes was released from the 5 officers who responded that day. Other footage and the initial 911 call has never been made available to her. Now, in March 2023, Ms. Braxton received a USB containing audio-only interviews with Crystal Kemp and her son, dating over 8 hours before the 911 call was made. Mr. Benjamin Crump, you slipping, brother. What's going on with this case? Get to it. Now, both Kemp and her son, Brian Gates is his name, are alleged to be police informants. And Terron's mother believes this connection may have influenced the handling of this whole case. Terron's mother continues to seek justice for her son. We got a powerful and emotional interview you guys don't want to miss with Jennifer Braxton, the mother of Terron Evans Jr. Okay, she joins us to share her truth and the ongoing fight for justice in her son's 2021 unaliving. Yeah, I don't want to miss this one. This conversation is raw, real, and necessary. We talk about the unanswered questions, the red flags in an investigation, and how Terron's story connects to a much bigger movement for truth and accountability. So season 4, food for thought. You don't want to miss that episode. So stay tuned with us on that one. Stay locked in so you won't miss it. The next one, Karmelo Anthony. As you know, he was a 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony who was charged in the first-degree murder in a fatal stabbing of fellow student Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas, on April 2nd of 2025. Now, on April 14th, 2025, the county judge reduced Anthony's bail bond from $1 million to $250,000, citing his lack of prior criminal history and a strong community ties. Anthony was released from jail and placed under house arrest with an ankle monitor, right? He is required to remain at home under adult supervision. He has to check in weekly with court officers and is prohibited from contacting the Metcalf family or using social media. Now, according to witnesses and their statements and the arrest affidavit, the altercation began when Metcalf asked Anthony to move from underneath a tent designed for another school's team. The confrontation escalated, leading to Anthony allegedly stabbing Metcalf once in the chest. Anthony claims that he acted in self-defense. The case is expected to be presented to the grand jury by the end of June 2025. And if indicted, Anthony will face trial. But due to his age, he is not eligible for the death penalty or life without parole if convicted. Right? So following his release, Anthony and his family moved into a rented home in a gated community in Frisco somewhere. This move has drawn public scrutiny, especially after the family cited financial hardship during the bond reduction hearing. An online fundraising organization by Anthony's family has raised over $515,000 to cover legal fees, right? Security and relocating expenses. And this family reports receiving threats and harassment, prompting increased security measures. Now, this incident has sparked significant public reaction from both families, receiving threats and facing intense scrutiny. Both families. Authorities and the community leaders have urged the public to refrain from harassment and please allow the legal process to proceed without interference. My condolences to the Metcalf family and that young man, Mr. Austin, rest in peace. Another one, Caysen Allison. Here's the latest on the case of Caysen Allison, the former Belton High School student involved in the 2022 fatal stabbing of classmate Joe Ramirez Jr. Now, on April 29, 2025, a Bell County jury found 21-year-old Caysen Allison guilty of criminal negligent homicide, which is a lesser charge than the original murder accusations. Right? The jury deliberated for 12 hours before reaching this decision. Allison now faces a sentencing hearing scheduled for June 16, 2025, where he could receive a range from 6 months to 2 years in the state jail, along with a possible fine of up to $10,000. Now, the incident occurred on May 3rd of 2022 when Allison fatally stabbed 18-year-old Jose Ramirez Jr. during an altercation in Belton High School inside the bathroom. Now, Allison admitted to stabbing and he claimed self-defense amid ongoing bullying, just like the Karmelo Anthony case. Same setup. An arrest affidavit released that Allison had previously expressed threats against Ramirez. Allison's attorney expressed satisfaction with the jury's decision, emphasizing the complexity of the case and the nonsense of the self-defense claim. The Ramirez family voiced profound disappointment, man, in this verdict, describing it as a slap on the wrist, and expresses a sense of betrayal by the justice system. Once again, Joe Ramirez, rest in peace from us here at Food for Thought, and condolences to his family. Last but not least, Jordan Hill. Here's an update on the tragic case of a 10-year-old Jordan Hill who was fatally struck by a pickup truck while riding his ATV in Liberty, Mississippi. So on April 6, 2025, Jordan Hill was riding his ATV on a grassy roadside when he was hit by a pickup truck driven by 33-year-old male Cody Rollison. So witnesses report that Rollison left the scene immediately after the collision, returning later only to retrieve his side mirror that fell off of his vehicle. Why did he come back? that side mirror was evidence, and he thought he was going to get away with it. Jordan was pronounced unalived at the scene. Rowland was arrested the same day and charged with felony of leaving the scene of an accident and possession of marijuana. Ooh. He was released. Getting back to that word, released on bond. That's floating around a lot. On $41,000 bond after unaliving this young man. Authorities are awaiting the results of the toxicology report, and additional charges may be pending. Now, this incident has sparked outrage within the community. Activists have been advocating for the Hill family, calling for upgraded charges against Rowland. A change.org, petition demanding justice for Jordan has been gathering over 1,400 signatures. So they've been signing this petition. And once again, it's a change.org petition. Jordan Hill was a student at the Amite County Elementary School, where he was known for his energy and his optimism. He played on third base on the baseball team. It's a shame. His funeral was held on April 19th, attended by family and friends and teammates who honored his memory. Jordan, rest in peace. Condolences to his family. Rest in peace, King. In the wake of so much loss and sorrow, we are reminded on how fragile life is and how quickly everything can change, man. Each tragedy leaves its own mark, a scar on the collective souls of those affected. Yet, even in the darkest moments, we find glimmer of humanity, acts of kindness, courage, and unity that rises from the rubble. While we cannot undo the past, we can honor it by moving forward with greater passion, awareness, and a commitment to build a world where such pain become less common. Let these events not only break, they don't only break our hearts, but also awakens our responsibility to care for one another more and more deeply. I want to thank you guys for listening and take care of one another. God bless. Thank you.